Good morning, everybody. From our previous discussions of broiler production, now we need to look at our broiler industry. What are the situations and what are we looking forward to? The picture shows one of my consultancies, a 36,000 broiler production somewhere in Batangas, and we are attaining good productivity efficiency. I will tell you later. What are the situations? Number one, the chicken meat per capita consumption used in the Philippines for the past 14 years is 14.13 kilogram per year. Imagine a mere 38 gram per day ng bawat Pilipino. Now, considering the population projection will be around 112 million, we will be needing 4,370,000 kilos of chicken per day. That's 1.6 billion kilos of chicken per year. Are we there? The outlook, the historical data shows that we have parent stock population of 16 million, 18 million, and up to 2023, 18 million, which will translate to around 1.9, 1.8 billion kilos of chicken per year. So we are reaching it, no? I will discuss how to compute later on, but that is our outlook now. We will be having enough parent stock, therefore enough broiler for our per capita consumption analysis of 14.13 kilos per year. Comparatively, last year we have 948 million by the first semester. And for this year, the available data is up to June. We are down by 52 million for 2023. And we are looking forward for a 2024 production of additional 19 million versus 2023. So it's looking good, di ba? Now, this is the latest arrival of grandparent, parent, hatching egg. And I don't want to give you much problem in computing. Let's shortcut it down. With that deliveries of grandparent, parents, SAP, and we will have a target of 18 million for 2022 and 18.1 million for 2023. The value you see is not yet complete. Projection na lang simula dun sa August hanggang December. And then the arrival for 2024 is projected also based on sa dumating na GGP, Grandparent Farm sa Pilipinas 2 years ago. With that parent stock population, historically, we achieved 1.7 billion 2019, 1.9 billion 2020. As you can see in the figure, and then 1.9 again 2021. We are forecasting a decline of 1.8 billion for this year. And hopefully, balance of the PS arrival will increase our targets for 2024. Unfortunately, the values I have, the values other integrators have, the values our PSA have some variances, especially with the broiler breeder, GP, hatching egg arrival. And this is one of our biggest situational problem here in the Philippines. My source is Dr. E. Macalino. He presented this last Philippine College of Poultry Practitioners, and people have varying values, and that will really translate to a not specific volume of broilers for us in the Philippines. Good to know na for every 1 GP will produce 45 parent stock. And one parent stock is producing 125-day-old chick broilers for its life cycle of 65 weeks. Siyempre, mayroong pang lead time yan na iniipon maximum ng 2 weeks, and then maximum din ng 2 weeks sa PS na itlog. That's why the broiler chicks production slide by around 4 to 6 weeks upon the arrival of the PS or the GP. Yun lang yung dapat maging malinaw sa lahat sa atin. Sample, kung dumating ang parent stock ng January, June pa siya magkakaroon ng broiler na sisiw. At dahil doon siya, 30 days nating i-harvest, July pa lang siya magiging chicken meat. Naintindihan niyo sana? Ulitin ko, January 1 arrival ng parent stock, di ibig sabihin yan, sisiw pa siya. And it will take another 25 weeks for it to produce eggs that will be hatched for broiler. So around June, saka pala magkaka-broiler na sisiw. Depending sa capacity ng mga hatchery, surely it will entail a slide of around another 2 weeks. So July, August pa siya magiging broiler meat. Kung September naman, nang dumating yung PS, next year na siya magiging CCO. February na. Harvest niya March. Actually, current practice na sa lahat ng mga consultancies ko is 30 to 32 days yung harvest, 1.6 to 1.7 kilos live weight, and then another 2 weeks for cleaning, then another loading will be done. Yung grandparent farm, ulitin ko lang, 45 lang na parent stock ang mapoproduce ng isa. So, ganun kaunti lang. Yung parent stock, 125 na sisig. To some, it is extended up to 68 weeks. Previous practice ko, when we worked with an integrator before, 68 talaga yung nakakal, pero utay-utay, from 65 weeks, nagkakal na kami. With the problem of bird flu, we are forced to import hatching egg, not the chicks itself. So, from GGP egg, 4 eggs will mean 1 female of the female line. Medyo magulo, no? And then, pag nag-produce ng itlog yon, 3 eggs para mag-produce siya ng isang parent stock. That's why, pinakita ko na kaagad yung total para wag na kayo masyadong maguluhan. Usually, when we import hatching egg, it is guaranteed to have an 80% clean hatch. So, yun yung aming ginagamit for projecting the population. Now, from statistica, the chicken population is composed of layers, 23.10%, broilers, 33%, and native and range chicken, around 43%. Kasi yung culled layers, part pa rin ng chicken meat na kinokonsume natin yan. Lalo na doon sa may mga lugaw-lugaw, arroz caldo sa North Central Luzon. And for the native chicken, this is a good data we are getting because of the person in charge there's well into documentation. So now it's around 43%. But their harvest is a little bit longer. It's usually around 45 to 50 days. Now, the situation, forgive me, but our government has been a very good importer. We have rising imports even in vegetables. That's why it's displacing the local production. And the imported chickens are cheaper comparatively. This was another paper presented in the Philippine College of Poultry Practitioners. Now, here is an example of my consultancy performance for conventional farms. We are getting a 75 peso per kilo production cost. And if it's tunnels, what you call this, CCS building with the power increase because of the increasing price of our petroleum, it's around 85. Previously, we reached a high of 895, 96 because the feeds cost then ballooned up to 38 pesos per kilo. Here, now we have a more stable feed cost around 35 pesos per kilo. The costing of DOC chicks is also stabilized with the presence of the GP and PS population. So from this result, we have a productive efficiency that is comparative worldwide. We are even better off. The price in 2021 was around 116. It dipped 105 to in 2022 and now is 111. Considering the previous figure I have presented, you still have a chance to have a around 30 to 36% profitability. So the situations remains optimistic. Now, for the outlook, we need to determine the factors playing as where our chicken broilers will go. Number one, the breeder population and broiler forecast. Well, the data for this one needs much to be desired. Hindi pa rin siya accurate. And then, number two, yung forecasted chicken per capita natin, we need to look into it para may promote naman natin ang chickens and other developments sasabihin ko mamaya, including the romance, policies, stakeholder participation. So, kung 18.5 ang ating gawing new target per capita consumption, considering our swine industry is having problem with their meat, this means 2 billion ang ating kailangan chicken for the year. So, I previously showed 1.8 targeted for 2023 and 1.8 billion also for 2024. So, kulang. Going to this office today, I heard from the news na the poultry sector, the agriculture has registered a 2.2% increase sa production. Despite this, we know this coming holiday season, the price will still go up. Now, the bird flu cases, which flared up again from our source of imported breeders, limited our incoming breeder GP. So we resorted to hatching eggs that in some way have some problems too. The same time, the low petroleum production of our OPEC brothers in the Middle East results to an increasing oil prices weekly. So this affects our transportation cost. What is very nice, just recently we have a newly appointed Department of Agriculture Secretary, although his business is more of processed meat and in the fisheries, we are looking forward na he will be always available to discuss government policies and the active participations with the stakeholders. This is nice to improve our projections and our efficiency parameters to meet the 2.3 billion kilo chicken for the year, for the coming year. And then the president himself issued a memorandum to reduce local taxations and miscellaneous fees. This is a welcome news, not only for the transport of chickens, but other part of the industry. The biggest problem for broiler growers is the lack of rural and urban planning. This results to LGU abuse. I myself have this bad experience where my broiler buildings were not given any permit because it was enclosed by three subdivisions and one tile factory. If we have a good rural and urban planning, ensuring that farm locations will not be affected by the expansion of residents, then all the more we will be able to contain any problem and diseases. Biosecurity will be ensured, and true capacities of the farm will be listed. To this effect, if identified locations are there, there will be no transgressions of territory, no LGU abuses, even barangay roads will no longer be subjected to taxation. The approval of the bird flu vaccination is an with government supervision is a welcome development. It has been discussed thoroughly. It has been uh, dispersed and discussed with the veterinarians involved. I will show you later the guidelines. One very good development too is an expansion of operation by one integrator somewhere in the Lanao area. I'm happy for this. It will serve our Muslim brothers there, specific for their needs, and it will definitely lower the production of chicken meat as transportation will be expenses will be lesser. Another good development, although to my knowledge is not supervised by our government, is the ongoing soya production somewhere in Mindanao. Recent developments I've learned is that they are having problems with the drying and the curing of the soya. God's will, sana, we can improve and then we have our own soya. We will not be reliant too much on our export countries' sources. If the government will fully support the corn farmers, then we will have enough corn supply for the coming year. Even if we are looking towards El Nino, uh, support with the rice farmers has been done. It's looking good. The corn farmers all the more needs this because it's one of the major supply of feeds for raw material for our chicken. So this is another avenue to be discussed by stakeholders with the government. I hope all will bring fruition by 2025. Recent headlines in Philstar, this is the one I'm telling you about, that the DA approved the use of two types of vaccination versus bird flu. One is protective emergency and one is preventive vaccination. Only vector vaccines, killed and inactivated vaccines, and recombinant vaccines are recommended, are approved. We won't use live vaccines that it may cause shedding and all the more bring problems. And specifically, layer farms, layer breeder, broiler breeders, color free-range breeders, as listed, these are the ones that need to be vaccinated. If vaccinated, the breeders, our commercial broilers, small-hold broilers, quails, pigeons, which are harvested at an earlier time, less chances of exposure to the disease, and with the maternal protection from the breeders, this will ensure that our country will be going back to AI free with vaccination status. It's a recent news, no? Now, the forecasted El Nino for 2024, first half of 2024, will be providing problems for our farmers, corn farmers, and also the production farms, the broiler farms, especially their water source. So we are blessed naman. It was expected to hit us as early as the first half of this year, but we are blessed with rains and seldom we will hear the dam water levels now discussed on the radio. A good thing for us is the native and range chickens. And our pioneer friends there has been well into documentations, even the crossing of the breeders. That's why we are getting good forecasted values. Now, the regular government and stakeholder meetings is badly needed now. With the in-place secretary, sana maging open-minded lahat sa pakikipag-usap and all stakeholders will be available. We have a party list that is pushing much uh, protocols for our swine and farmer and chicken farmers. So hopefully it will reach the ears of our secretary. A good thing again happening in the industry is the continuing professional education sponsored by poultry, swine, and nutritional practitioners. This is a very nice avenue. Before it was limited to those licensed best licensed nutritionists. Now we are enjoying, even farm owners are enjoying their attendance to these educational programs as they have a good insight on how to tackle problems being encountered in the farm, in the production of raw materials, and so on. And the nutritional values. Way back, we have a, this is way back in my production years of broiler. We call it black vomit and then it becomes ILT. And then we call it third quarter syndrome when in fact we know it's more of a mycotoxin problems due to raw material problems during the third quarter of the year. So with these programs being done regularly, usually every year, every month we have seminars. And this seminar is also a good part for people to hear and listen to and view what's happening in the industry. Considering all points discussed, Our broiler industry is in a better situation now, and the outlook is bright. We are never too young or too old to learn how to raise and unlearn how to raise our chickens for our country's needs. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please go and list it in the chat group. Thank you.